Shabbat Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to you, sincere Aken. Alright, sounds, that's just the wrong article I wanted to go to, but here it is. And here we have the title of today's video, which is basically the lunar, going into the so-called Lunar New Year, alright, which of course, we already know that it's not actually the New Year, but you have this international holiday going around right now, which is basically quote unquote the Chinese New Year or the Lunar New Year, which of course, it's not only, which is mainly celebrated in China, but it's not only celebrated in China, you have different countries, and now it's different countries going into it, and celebrating it. And it has basically become an international holiday. And the main reason I wanted to go into this is because, naturally, I always talk about this, that how I'm a gamer, and now you have these different games, all right, that are doing celebrations. They are doing it. They are giving out free skins, free packs, free loot boxes during this Lunar New Year period. COD. I believe Fortnite is also doing some of that. All right, different games like that. So I decided to just do a quick video on this whole Lunar New Year situation. All right, maybe just bring it out, okay, and do some research concerning it and what I believe it is, just speaking as a man. So I'm just going to go into the article first and foremost. Here you have it on the Britannica. All right, so this is it right here. Lunar New Year in the Chinese is called Chunjie, Vietnamese Tet, Korean Solnao, Tibetan Losar, also called Spring Festival. Festival typically celebrated in China and other Asian countries that begins with the first new moon of the lunar calendar and ends on the first full moon of the lunar calendar 15 days later. What does that remind you of? The lunar calendar is based on the cycles of the moon, so the dates of the holiday vary slightly from year to year, beginning sometime between January 21st and February 20, according to Western calendars, approximately 10 days before the beginning of the new lunar year. Houses are thoroughly cleansed to remove any bad luck that might be lingering inside, a custom called sweeping of the grounds. Traditionally, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day are reserved for family celebrations, including religious ceremonies honoring ancestors. Also, on New Year's Day, family members receive red envelopes, like C, containing small amounts of money. Dances and fireworks are prevalent throughout the holidays, culminating in the Lantern Festival, which is celebrated on the last day of the New Year's celebrations. All right, so now I'm just going to stop right there just to go into this a little bit. And this is just me speaking as a man, but I believe that this is, all right, the heathens' way of celebrating the Passover, all right. That's basically what this is going into with the Lunar New Year, which of course they got, you know, a whole lot of things off, man. But when you go into the celebrating that the first, okay, so-called first month of the year, which of course, we are going to go into the proper way to celebrate the Passover, okay? Then you go into the whole of the cleaning of the house and everything, right? Which of course, that whole cleaning of the house is going into removing all the yeast, okay, all the rising agents or the leaven, so okay, or the leaven as the scriptures call it from your house, you know how to keep it clean, all right? Because that is part of the custom of the Passover. Okay, but continuing on. All right, so okay, continue on. Traditionally, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day are reserved for family celebrations, including religious ceremonies honoring ancestors. Also, on New Year's Day, family members receive red envelopes, like C, containing small amounts of money. Dances and fireworks are prevalent throughout the holidays, culminating in the Lantern Festival, which is celebrated on the last day of the New Year's celebration. On this night, colorful lanterns light up the houses, and traditional foods such as yuan xiao, Sticky rice balls that symbolize family unity, Fargao, prosperity cake, and Yusheng. Raw fish and vegetable salad are served. The Lunar New Year is celebrated on Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. And that's right, okay. Now, by the time of uploading this video, you have these hidden out here celebrating this new year, man. But and even Jake, majority of our people getting into this celebration right along with them because you know how Jake is, man. Any high holy day that these heathen enjoy celebrating, man, Jake will be drawn to become a part of them. And you have a lot of Jakes out there in the Far East Asia, Japan, China, Thailand, and the like. Okay, and North and South Korea, mainly South Korea. We have a lot of Jakes out there celebrating these wicked ass holiday, man. This lunar new year right along with them, okay, which is not supposed to be so. But continue on. The origins of the Lunar New Year festival are thousands of years old and are steeped in legends. One legend is that of Nian, a hideous beast believed to feast on humans' flesh on New Year's Day. Because Nian feared the color red, loud noises, and fire, red paper decorations were pasted to doors, which of course is reminiscence of the red paints, okay, of the blood of the lamb that was used to cover the doors of of the Israelites' houses back when we were in the land of Egypt, okay. I'll continue on. Because Niam feared the color red, loud noises, and fire, red paper decorations were pasted to doors, lanterns were burned all night, and firecrackers were lit to frighten the beast away. And if I recall correctly, which of course I'm going to get that preset, but during the first Passover, okay, during the time when we were about to leave Egypt, as the scripture say that the lights, okay, they do not take out the lights of your candles, okay, keep the lights in your houses burning. Of course, this is all this was going into. So, and this is just once again just me speaking as a man, but I believe that this Niyan is the heathen's version of the spirit of death that went through the land of Egypt, which would be Yahweh. And of course, it makes sense because to us the Israelites, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai might be our power, the Most High and His Son. But to these heathen men, they are that Alashadia, that demon-like power. And this is basically how they see the Most High and His Son, as a fearsome demon-like power, all right? Something to be, basically something to be, basically demons and monsters to be feared, okay? But anyway, that's basically the article now, and I'm going to probably post some videos going into the whole Chinese New Year celebration once again, just to give you a good idea concerning this. Okay, so now let's get some precepts. So I'll start from not here, Exodus the 12th chapter. So this is the book of Exodus chapter 12. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. And that's right. I believe the first month is Nisan. Okay, Nashan. I think that's how you pronounce it. But I believe that is the first month of the year. Okay. And during that first month, that's when the celebration of the Passover falls. I believe it's the 14th day of the first month. Okay, not immediately the first month hits, then you start celebrating the Passover, but rather the 14th day of the first month. That's how you celebrate the Passover, right? But continuing on, speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take the blood, and they shall take of the blood, and strike it on the two side posts, and on the upper door post of the houses, wherein they shall eat it. And that's right, the same way that you put that these hidden out here, and they are putting red paper on top of their doors now to ward away, a beast that comes and eats humans, all right. And if you go into the history, it's mainly children that it goes after, which of course is going into the firstborns, the same way that the spirit of death that went over Egypt killed all the firstborns of in the land of Egypt, not just Pharaoh, but also every single firstborn child, man, out there. Okay, and so continuing on, and they shall take. Oh yeah, second, if I even forget, and the cattle, and another basically, the firstborn child, the firstborn humans and animals. Okay, so now continue on. So Exodus 12, verse 7. And they shall take the blood and strike it on the two sides posts and on the upper door posts of the houses wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast it with fire and unleavened bread with bitter herbs, and they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire his head and his legs, and with the portenance thereof, and ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. And that which remaineth of it until morning ye shall burn with fire. That's right, because you're supposed to eat the entire Passover lamb that very night, Because it was a Saturday, and we were going into this last year, and the Passover is something that you eat with haste, okay? Because the same way that they did the same way that they did during the first Passover, it's something that you eat with haste, okay? Because when they were eating that Passover, it was something that after you eat the Passover, they are leaving the land of Egypt instantly the next minutes, because once Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and the other Egyptians saw what happened, the great crying that came out of the land of Egypt. All right, that was when they had enough of the curses that Yahweh Bashim Yahshua has putting on them, and decided that they should just let the Israelites go, let them all go so that they can have peace in the land. Okay. So verse 11 now. Exodus 12, verse 11. And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat in haste. It is Yahweh's Passover. All right. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am Yahweh. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. Okay, and that's basically going into the history of the Passover. All right, and now because of that great deliverance, okay, going into the 10 plagues, and then the last one being, this great work that Yahweh Shai did against the Egyptians in killing all their firstborn sons. And we celebrate the Passover every year, okay, the beginning of the first month, which of course, this lunar new year isn't actually the lunar new year, all right. I believe the new year falls on, and that's why I had that article pulled up. That's why I had that website Slovakia pulled up, because I was trying to recall when the actual new year comes up, because when the actual new year falls, because it has all the new moons here. But I believe that the new year of Nissan falls on March, okay, March and April. So I trying to remember when the actual um beginning of the year falls, either on March the 1st or April or March the 31st, going into when the new moon begins, and you see all the new moons for 2022, January the 2nd, February the 1st, okay, which is actually, look at the time when the new moon begins, it's actually January 31st, okay. So we know when the new year will be, in between March and April, all right, not actually this February. So the heathen went off with that, okay. But this is this is how the heathen are, man. This is how the high holidays get celebrated, by copying the actual righteous ways which the Israelites, which the Israelites celebrate, copying the actual righteous high holidays the Israelites celebrate, as the scripture says, and that Jacob is the former of all things, even your lunar new year. Okay, so this is right here. So this is the book of Jeremiah 51, verse 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Yahweh of hosts is his name. All right, so let's get some more going into the Passover first before you go into other things. Okay, Leviticus 23, and I will start from Leviticus 23, verse 4. These are the feasts of Yahweh, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. In the 14th day of the first month at even is Yahweh's Passover. All right, so once again, I've seen it right there. In the 14th day of the first month, the month Nishan. Okay, that's going to be, or is it Nisan? So I have to just quickly get this right. I don't know, I'm always spelling nothing like Nissan. Anyway, I don't know whether it's Nashan or Nishan. Let me just quickly, check, look it up in the blue letter. I've already done that already. Okay. Okay. So the word is Nisan. Na Nisan. Na San. Nisan. 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 I can't pronounce that right, so okay. Nisan. Anyway, let's just get back to the topic, okay? So that's Leviticus 23, verse 4, and it reads, these are the feasts of Yahweh, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. In the 14th day of the first month, at even is Yahweh's Passover. In other words, the 14th day of the first month, okay, that's the month Nisan. All right, going into that's going to the Passover, okay, and it's basically telling you the exact same thing. So from verse 6, and on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto Yahweh. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. And just in case you also forget, the first and the last days of the Passover are Sabbaths, okay. In other words, no work is done during those days, okay, because all of the high holy days begin with Sabbath. And the reason why in this society, okay, whenever you have a holiday, business is closed. Everybody is expected to be in their houses, celebrating those holidays is because of this law right here, because all high holy days fall on Sabbath, okay, or rather, Salakia, all high holidays are officially Sabbath, no work is to be done, days of rest and all that. To continue on, Leviticus 23 verse 7. In the first day you shall have an holy convocation. You shall do no several work therein, but you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh 7 days. In the 7 days and holy convocation you shall do no several work therein. That's basically what that is going into, once again going into the Passover, which these heathen have, basically turned around into this lunar New Year situation, and they went off on so many things, which of course, it's normal, the normal thing that you see. It's perfectly normal because these are hidden, and the spirit is not dealing with them. Okay, you try to convince try to convince some of these wacky tacky Christians but they'll never understand that. Since the spirit is not dealing with them. Okay, even if they get the celebrations right, which of course that's a very big if. But even if they get the celebrations right, eventually, all right, they're going to end up screwing it up one in some way. Okay, so now this is what I want. That's actually what I want to get right now. A precept to prove that the Most High is not dealing with these heathen men. So this is the book of Psalms 147 verse 19. A quick one, easy to get. This is but scriptural one hit knockout, man. You can bring this out and it just debunks whatever any of you Akitaki Christians have to say. All right, because unlike these Christians out here, we the Hebrew Israelites who are dealing with the 100% book, okay? Old Testament and New Testament Apocrypha as well. Because you understand that the scriptures and the scriptures stay consistent 100% all through, okay? Even the men of the Lord, even the men of the Lord, in the New Testament, the epistle writers, the gospel writers, all right, Yahawashai, all the men that wrote their epistles, their letters, quoted from the Old Testament, and you can't say things like, oh, that was from the Old Testament, we're now in the New Testament because that's not applicable, okay? Once you say that, it just proves that you don't know the scripture. It just proves that you should just drop the book, okay? Because you have no right to read it because you don't understand what it is going into, all right? If somebody brings out something from the Old Testament, it is still, it's not a business from the Old Testament, it is still applicable, okay, and it still goes hand in hand with the New Testament. This is the book of Psalms 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. All right, and that's basically it right there, okay. One of the words, one of his judgments is this Passover, which of course the heathen have confused and turned it into the Lunar New Year, all right? And this is basically, that's one of the things that you see with these heathen out here, man. It's not really that surprising, okay? Because it's because it's natural for these heathen to go off on things like this, man. But anyway, that's just going to be a lesson right there, not too much to go into on that. If you're out here celebrating this Lunar New Year, just a quick word of, admonishment, okay, rebuke to our people. Stop it, man, all right? Because this is not one of the high holy days that we have been commanded to celebrate by Yahweh Shmi or Shai, okay? You see, when the scriptures tell you about that let not the ways of the heathen, all right? That's Jeremiah 10, verse 2, I believe. Learn not the ways of the heathen. Do not follow after the ways of the heathen. And this Lunar New Year celebrations is one of those ways, okay? A celebration that is done in ignorance, all right? Celebration that is done, as the scripture says, the heathen are dismayed at the signs of heaven, all right? And one of those signs being, the Passover and all right, the event of the Passover, the destroyer of the Gentiles, which is Yahushai, coming down and bringing judgment upon the Egyptians, okay, and the heathen seeing that, began to fear and to try to keep their own, wayward, corrupted vision of the Passover, all right, and going off on so many things. So with that, through the Spirit of you Akim, you are quite edified. All praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Sham, Yahweh, Sham, Racha, Kwadash, Wa, Abad, Babal, Shalom.